So since we're already down the Diddy rabbit hole, we're gonna go all the way to the bottom of the Diddy rabbit hole. It's a lot of people who are very nervous right now. A lot of people who are very nervous right now because that documentary was so good. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on Netflix. Go check it out. And I encourage you to binge watch all the episodes before they're gone. Because your boy gonna have it pulled. He's gonna have it pulled. But kudos again to 50 Cent for connecting all the dots. We needed all the dots connected. But the problem is there are other dots that are not part of the line that's in the documentary that's going to expose a lot of people. A lot of people. Some people are going to come out of the woodwork, and some stories that you're not going to be comfortable with of people that you like a lot, a whole heck of a lot, is exposing a lot of people. This ish been going on for a long time. Remember when Corey Feldman been saying, I just saw an old clip I posted years and years and years ago of Barbara Walters actually reprimanding in the middle of an interview Corey Feldman, who was talking about Hollywood. I was about to say Hollywood Wood, um, and what they've been doing to children for years, right? What they've been doing to children for years. And because these are your beloved favorites that's been orchestrated and created by a machine, a publicity machine, you've got these carefully crafted images of people that you love because you think you know them, but you don't know these people. I want you to stop right now and tell yourself, I don't know these people. I just like them. I like their artistry. But you don't know if they're good people or not good people. You like an image of a person. And when I tell you, it's some devilish stuff that's happening also on the music side of the business with a lot of people that you consider to be your heroes. You're going to be shocked. Some of these carefully crafted images of some of these hardcore rappers are lies. They're just big, fat, freaking stinky lies. And there's a lot of stuff happening with underage people. Let me tell you, I told y'all, I worked in the industry for a very long time. I also dated people in the industry when I was younger. And so, like the coming of age of a lot of stuff, all the parties and all that stuff. I was young. Everybody was young. We were all hanging out. We were all having a good time. Nobody thought twice about anything. And back then, things were a little different. They were a little different. So people were in hiding back then. I'm not saying they should have been in hiding. I'm just saying they were in hiding. But I always noticed when I would go to like the hip hop parties, right? Because I had friends who were also heavyweights in the industries, DJs and all kind of stuff, right? And I noticed when I went to these parties that there were a lot of what the guys would call groupies hanging around these parties. But I noticed there were a lot more men hanging around those parties than women. And I mean, they were like kind of hanging on, like hangers on. I used to tell my family this. They'd be like, oh, girl, you're crazy. You tripping. Because nobody believed back then that that kind of stuff was happening because it wasn't as open, which I appreciate now. It's a lot more open, but people are still hiding. But it wasn't as open as it is now. So people were really hiding back then. But a lot of these hardcore rappers, they have the girls on the videos and they disrespect the women on the videos and they go home to men. A lot of your favorite rappers, woo-ha, a lot of your favorite rappers, they don't they ruined the image of women. Because, see, one point in rap, women used to be called queens. Oh, my queen. Used to be a queen. Used to be respected. My black queen. Oh, we love you. Oh, we honor you. Same thing women meant, then all of a sudden, some of the gatekeepers changed. Like Diddy, you know what I'm saying? And music started. There was still good music, but then at some point in the industry, the tone of music started changing. The tone of it changed, right? And when the tone of it changed, it started being like, I love my homie, and you are a B. And then when women would fight back, like, no, I'm not a B, I'm a queen. They're like, we're not talking about you. We're talking about other women. This not you. But how do you differentiate the two? And how does a young girl listening to this art form understand that she's not supposed to be a B? And then when she start, or money hungry getting girl, and then when she starts to embrace those images, because that's who you have conditioned her as to who she is, then you're like, see, I told you. See, I told you, but you groomed her with your with her ears. You groomed her with her ears. And even I heard someone say this, and I never thought about it from this perspective before, that the women who were in the industry, you know, behind the wonderful Queen Latifahs of the world, who were positive images of women, but the women who like, no, I'm a B and I own it, and I just, those images were crafted, and the music was primarily written by men. By men. It was an agenda. I now listen, you don't have to agree with me. And if you don't, fine. Argue about it in the comments. I don't care. But you don't have to agree with me. But I was there, and I remember when the music started to change. Now, over time, it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But all I'm saying is the divide, the great divide between men and women, black men and black women, and the relationship between black men and black women, a lot of that came through, and just even like self degradation and disrespect, a lot of that came through our ears. And we didn't even realize it. We were embracing a different type of thought process. And let me tell you, this stuff doesn't stop. It didn't start with, nor does it stop with Diddy. So we're not going to blame Diddy for all of this. I'm not saying that he didn't have a great hand in it, but we're not going to say it started and stopped with Diddy. But what we're going to say is, yeah, it's a lot of that stuff made an impact, and it's negative. And years later, we see how it's impacting the growth and development in the relationship. And we've always had problems. So somebody's going to be like, no, see, here's a video from 1942. But listen, there's always been issues, but we don't need any more issues to help encourage the great divide. Not just that, but also how we view ourselves, right? How we view ourselves. So that's one thing. So we won't go there. Y'all could go there, but we need to talk. You know what? This is going to be another video. I just want to talk about the legacy of hip hop, and that the fact that you're going to see some ripples outside of Diddy. Remember, they were like, ain't no such thing as the Illuminati. There is no such thing as the Illuminati. That is just like that Michael Jackson meme. No, it's not true. Oh, no, no. It's just not so. Oh, it's all lies. It's not true. But come to find out, it's a lot of truth to it. It might not be true, but there's a lot of truth to it. And so we need to start talking about the disrespect to women and men, young, underage men and women, people who will do anything for fame and a dollar, people who will sell their souls to the devil for a dollar. We've got to address this in our community if we're going to move forward. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. You tell me what you think.